Okay, welcome back, people. I'm sure we had a wonderful time. If you are just joining us, this is Conversations with Akan Imoh, and today we are talking about the trend that has been going on in the Euros, the Euro competition, and it's been a very wonderful competition. Yes, I'm expecting. Who's your favorite team?
Personally, I'm rooting for France. N'Golo Kante must get the Ballon d'Or.
Okay, I just talked to one of my guests, but before then, I'm going to introduce him. Okay, welcome back, people. I'm sure we had a wonderful time. If you are just joining us, this is Conversations with Akan Imoh, and today we are talking about the trend that has been going on in the Euros, the Euro competition, and it's been a very wonderful competition. Yes, I'm expecting. Who's your favorite team?
Personally, I'm rooting for France. N'Golo Kante must get the Ballon d'Or.
Okay, I just talked to one of my guests, but before then, I'm going to introduce him. I'm going to introduce him and bring him properly on the show. But for me, I am rooting. I watched the Italian team play, and then I just loved how they did. It was so excellent the way they their first match. I'm like, these guys are playing like
They are the top.
they are playing exceptionally. So it's been an interesting competition. But then beyond the football match, beyond the games that are being played, we are seeing a wonderful, weird, interesting trend. So we are seeing a trend of footballers removing drinks from the table during their press conferences. So it started with Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most followed person on earth, the most followed person on Instagram. He came to his press conference table and then he took out bottles of Coca-Cola and dropped a bottle of water there. The next person was Pogba, who took out a bottle of Heineken because he didn't want it to show on his press conference. Then we had another player, Locatelli, who also took out bottles of Coca-Cola. And then one of my guests in the studio is telling me that another player from Ukraine came and brought all the drinks together and put on his own table. I really don't know what they are trying to achieve. Some people have said it's a very well orchestrated stunt. Other people have said that probably these are just individual differences. But the interesting thing about it is that when Cristiano Ronaldo took out the Coca-Cola drinks, it affected Coca-Cola's brand because shareholder value dropped about 4 billion naira in a space of 48 hours. So now we are looking at it today for entrepreneurs, and we are looking at it from the angle of crisis management. How can entrepreneurs manage their crisis? And to do justice to that, with me on the show are two amazing young men, and I believe they are excellent at this. I have immediately to my left, I have Benga Gboyega. Benga is a good friend. Benga is a sports analyst. He's very interested in sports. Interestingly, Benga was the one who brought this whole trend to my attention. And it was like, guy, check this out. You need to discuss this on your show. And I'm like, I love this. I'm going to research on it. And I'll definitely bring you on my show to discuss this. And then to my extreme left, I have Abraham Adesanya. Now, there is no relationship with the Abraham Adesanya you know in Lagos. The first time I met him, I asked, I said, Omo, do you know Abraham Adesanya? Abraham Adesanya is a student of public relations and advertising. So he's going to bring the professional angle to everything. So welcome, young man. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you today? And how is Lagos?
Man, as hectic as always, man.
Yeah, I know. Let's not go into that. Lagos can be very, very crazy and stressful. Okay. Are you watching the competition?
Yes, I am. I watched a number of games. I watched Belgium in TU.
Okay.
I watched Lukaku goals. I watched...
Yeah, Lukaku fan. Wait, what football club do you support?
Support us now.
Ah,
He was expecting Man U. I know.
How on earth would you support Arsenal? Like, who does that? Who supports Arsenal in this world? You are a Nigerian and you're supporting Arsenal. Is yourself?
For the sake of this topic, fans of Arsenal Football Club struggle with crisis management. Every now and then.
Okay,
No, we manage crisis a lot.
Yes. I think you people are excellent crisis managers.
Yeah.
Exactly. And heartbreak managers.
Exactly. I concur.
So, what team are you rooting for for the Euros?
I'm rooting Belgium to win.
Belgium.
Because I feel if this class of Belgium elites don't win it,
they can't win it again. The class is already fading out.
yes.
I think
they're
so.
Not building
I think so. I have a soft spot for them, but I think that soft spot ended after the World Cup.
Yeah,
They came third, right?
When they lost in semi-final.
Yes, in the semi. Okay, it was even fourth. They lost in the semi-finals. So after they lost, they should go and rest. They'll be fine. Bro,
Yeah. Welcome. I love the France team, not just because of Kante, like I mentioned earlier, but
Yeah, I know you're a Chelsea fan. Yes.
I think the French team is the most complete team in Europe generally.
Okay. Yeah.
At least for what is what, they are the defending champions of the world. And from the keeper to the defense to the midfield to the attack, they just have every player complete.
Yeah.
They're also a finalist in the last.
Yeah, and they were the finalists in the last Euro. So you see, there's a precedence. Like you mentioned, Italy, fine, they have good form and all that, but France is the team to beat.
Yes.
As far as I'm concerned.
I was discussing with a friend and I was telling him there that even if the French national team doesn't have a coach, they will still be a threat.
They are
Like the
Man
team
City
is
of
so
Europe.
good
They are the Man City
that
of
even
Europe.
if there is no coach, they will still at least they'll get semi-final.
Definitely.
Italy's excellence and form, I give a lot of credit to Mancini. He has done a lot of work on that team. But France, nah. I just don't want them to win it.
They will, because Kante must win the
I
Ballon
just
d'Or.
don't want
Oh,
them.
I want Kanye to win the Ballon d'Or, though.
Please,
Yeah.
what was
You see his consensus, can you see?
Oh my god, you are a sympathetic, you are a closer Chelsea fan because you are supporting Kante. Okay, so let's hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
We're looking at crisis management. We see how footballers have been taking on this trend. Ronaldo removed 2 bottles of Coca-Cola. What can you make out of it in the first place? What do you think? Do you think that I just read a post from my friend on Facebook this morning, and he said that in years from now, Ronaldo will fizzle out and Coca-Cola will still remain. What do you think about that statement? Abraham, what do you think? You think Ronaldo is bigger than the Coca-Cola brand, or Coca-Cola is bigger than the Ronaldo brand?
Well, Coca-Cola have been a brand even before Ronaldo was born.
Okay.
And Coca-Cola has been a very public brand. It has been a big brand all over the world. It has been an international organization. Put it that way. Ronaldo is building his own reputation.
Okay.
And he's doing that a lot. He's advertising his own business into perfumes, hotels and all. He's trying to build a name for himself.
Yeah.
I don't see Ronaldo beating Coca-Cola, but Ronaldo is a big brand as well.
It will shake Coca-Cola.
Exactly.
Coca-Cola will feel it. But funny enough, we've not even gotten any official response from Coca-Cola, have we?
Not really.
Not so.
Not really.
That means you're still taking it as people are still.
No, but I think there's a backroom discussion because
Yes.
UEFA has put out a statement
Okay.
warning players not to shift drinks anymore.
Oh, I
because,
see.
Because the trend obviously is becoming
I see.
unbearable.
But what about the Pogba's own? So at first, I was arguing that probably it was because it was an alcoholic drink and Pogba is a Muslim.
It's not even necessarily not an alcoholic drink because on the label is a malt made lager beer, so it's still alcoholic in a way, but it's just
Oh, I
made
see.
from malt.
I see.
But because of the brand Heineken, which might, personally, with all these cases, I don't think these players go into the press conference to deter any brand or to deter any, but whatever their gestures would be or have been,
Okay.
I feel is unprofessional because these are sponsors of the events that take care of your welfare,
Yeah.
that pay you your fee, that make you relevant in the game. But on the flip side, Ronaldo was trying innocently to push the agenda of drinking water. He didn't go there to say don't take soda or don't. He just said to be fit. Everybody knows Ronaldo is a physically fit person.
Yes.
If you follow him on Instagram, you know he's a healthy diet. Even his son, he doesn't allow his son to take soda. So he didn't come to the press conference to deter any brand. He just came to push his lifestyle. Drink water. Water is best for health. So after the whole downturn and everything, and other players are now using it as a trend, which is back to where you said, I beg to differ. Ronaldo is a bigger brand than Coca-Cola.
Oh.
Like you said, Ronaldo has 298 million followers on IG. That is
IG, that's Instagram.
Instagram alone.
Yeah.
So that means 20 Premier League teams don't even have up to what Ronaldo has. Now, Ronaldo's gesture alone reduced the shares of Coca-Cola.
Okay,
So how will you say he's not bigger?
Can you hold your thoughts there? I saw you nodding your head in disagreement, so I'd like to hear what that disagreement was. You said no. I'd like to hear that from
So
you.
first of all, I feel we can't say that it is not intentional
Okay.
because there are no evidence back there. It can be intentional. Messi is being sponsored by Pepsi.
Yeah.
He's getting lots of funds. He's getting lots of reward from his collaboration with Pepsi.
Yeah.
Ronaldo does not have such with Pepsi or with Coca-Cola. So that can be kind of reverse psychology to kind of thing to achieve his own goal of sponsorship. So we can't tell whether he's being
I never
genuine
saw it
or
from
not.
that angle. Okay, so you're saying that Messi is sponsored by Messi is a brand ambassador for Pepsi.
Yes.
And you're saying Ronaldo wants to also be that.
Exactly. He wants to show his power. He wants to show his level of
that I am
influence.
a strong person and I can
Exactly.
hit your opponent.
And I can also make you sell a lot if you just.
Okay.
Well, I will agree with you as that might be maybe
An
an
angle to
afterthought,
it.
an
Okay.
afterthought. But the initial gesture, because the bottle of water he advertised had no label. It was an empty, like a faceless bottle water.
Oh,
so he
yeah.
wasn't advertising a brand of water. He was just advertising water on its own, that it is more healthy than soda. So I beg to differ that he was intentional about maybe catching his call with Coca-Cola. All I just feel is everybody knows Ronaldo as a physically fit footballer.
Yeah.
And he is all out to tell you, see, what I do to make me fit is drink water regularly.
Okay. It's getting heated here in the studio, and you can see my guests are at their throats. I am not joining them in that fight. I'm just here to regulate the fight. When it's time to break bottles, I will also stand here and tell them, I want to go break your bottles. We're going to take a short break, and when we are back, I have a question for both of them.
Okay.
Now, my question is simple. What do you think about brand sponsorships? When brand wants to sponsor an event or sponsor a celebrity, what are your thoughts about it? So don't go anywhere. Stay with us, and when we're back, we will continue the conversation. Thank you. It just showed to me that this is a major issue. So one of the things I said before we went on break was that I was going to ask a question to my guest, and we're going to discuss influencer management. Now, because all these things just simply boils down to brand sponsorship. One of the biggest programs in the country, in Nigeria today, is Big Brother Niger. And brands struggle, fight, compete to sponsor, because they know that once they can sponsor that show, they've blown. Let me put it that way.
Yes,
For example, the title sponsor for this year's edition is Abeg app. Before now, many people don't even know. Have you heard of Abeg app before?
No.
I'm just saying it for the first time.
Oh, you're just hearing it for
Same here.
You know the interesting thing about Abeg app? They are new. They're not even doing anything. Like, we don't even know what they are doing. But they had money to go and sponsor. I don't know how true it is, but I heard that as at last year, I think it was Bet Nigeria that sponsored, that was the headline sponsor for last year's one. The fee for headline sponsorship was 3 billion naira.
That's good.
And then you cannot compare BBN with the Euros. So it's going to be way more.
Yeah.
So how do you think a brand is going to feel if I paid that amount of money for my show, and then what I'm seeing is you're shifting my bottles of drink? So my question is this: do you think Ronaldo had a right to push his personal agenda in an organization that is designed, organized, and paid for by brands? Where does the right of Ronaldo come in, and where does the right of the people who paid, of the brands who paid for the logistics and welfare of the whole organization come in? What do you have to say about that, Bingo?
All right, so I've been speaking as a fan, so let me just speak professionally right now.
Thank you.
I think Ronaldo's gesture at
Yeah.
that press conference was unprofessional.
Okay.
Like you've made in your entry, these are sponsors of the Euros.
Mm-hmm.
They pay huge money to make these Euros available for us to watch. And so when you are there, you are representing the entire brand, the Euro brand.
You're very correct.
So unlike off the field, on field, Ronaldo is not bigger than football. So he should have understood that gesture would have ripple effect. So I just feel that certain players get to a stage, just like Mourinho. Everybody knows Mourinho is a media darling. Mm-hmm. Mourinho cannot go to a press conference without throwing a dig at a fellow coach.
Something must happen.
He must throw a dig at a
Does
fellow
that
coach.
regularly.
So I think this is about their person, it's about their influence, what they carry, and how they want to be relevant to the press.
Yes.
Ronaldo will not just go to a press conference and not do something that will make the media trend for a while. So from that angle, I feel he wanted to make it. professional.
When you say wrongly, do you think he did it wrongly?
Well, I've not agreed with his intention of doing it yet. So I would say it was intentional. He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was
what he
doing.
wanted to do. He knew what he wanted to achieve. So
And it was
yeah,
very clear.
exactly. He passed his message clearly. He had this in mind already.
And just during the break, Benga was showing me a video of a Ukrainian player, Andriy Yamalenko, who, when he went for his own press conference, what he did was that he now brought all the drinks together on the table and said, I saw Ronaldo taking away the drinks. Now I'm putting my own here. Contact me. That one is a brand ambassador. That's
The contact me.
that one is an influencer on his own. He understands the business of influencing. Now, let's talk to entrepreneurs out there, young people who are running businesses. There's a trend of using influencers to sell your business nowadays, and it's working out well because influence is a key right now. I want to sell something. I want to sell a beauty product, and I use a very fine, beautiful model. She will sell my products for me. Now, what do you think entrepreneurs have to look out for before they can get before they can get influencers to endorse their businesses? What do you think are the pitfalls they should look out for?
Okay, so I think first of all, entrepreneurs should know that crises are unexpected.
Okay.
So you should always prepare for it.
Yeah.
You could have a brand ambassador that is void of scandal at the moment. It doesn't mean it won't be foiled into scandal the next month. We've seen top brands having to cut ties with brand ambassadors because of certain things that happen after the contract.
Yeah.
Like
Case in point,
SDC.
case in point, Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho was an ambassador for Coca-Cola, and he held a press conference having Pepsi in front of him. After the press conference, his contract was terminated by Coke.
Oh wow.
Immediately.
Yes, I know about
So
Wait, Ronald, say that again. I need to get that.
Ronaldinho was
Was-
brand ambassador for Coke.
For Coke.
in 2009.
And then he held a
He
press
held a
conference.
press conference and Pepsi can and bottles were in front of him.
Oh.
He didn't even touch it, but they were in front of him. After the press conference, his contract was terminated with Coke. That is how deep this rivalry exists. So, at first sight, every entrepreneur should know that crises are unexpected. Now, what you need to do, there was something you said to me off air a time ago, and it has stuck with me. If you're an entrepreneur and you have a registered business, your next focus should be having a legal practitioner behind you. You cannot move forward without having somebody who watches your back, and that is a legal practitioner, because you can never expect what is coming. Now, for the sake of Coke will definitely have legal practitioners that will have contacted UEFA that, see, my brand is having this issue in the Euros. And now UEFA has brought out a statement, don't move drinks anymore. I don't think UEFA made that statement on their own. It is the sponsors that reached out.
pressures from the
Yes.
sponsors. Yeah, you're very
So
correct.
Coke may have not expected it, but they have mitigation processes to tackle such things when they come up. So every
Resolve the
entrepreneur,
crisis.
prepare for the worst. The worst will definitely happen at some point, but just prepare for the worst.
You heard it here. You heard it here from my guest. He said, words on marble. Every entrepreneur prepare for the worst. Now,
Lots of money from the
I like
business.
something you said where you're looking into the future and you're saying, can this person cause my brand problems in the future? Because it just reminded me of a test I wrote yesterday, integrated marketing communications, and one of the questions was this: brand sponsorship. And in my answer, I put there that brands must look for celebrities or public figures that align with them ideologically.
Exactly.
Because if they don't align with them ideologically, there's going to be a problem. And the day as an entrepreneur, you put your brand, you get a brand influencer or a brand ambassador, you have just put the destiny of your brand in the hand of this person.
Thank you.
So anytime this person misbehaves out there, probably the person engages in fraud or something, it somehow just connects
Rubs on
to
your
your
brand.
brand. It somehow just rubs off on your brand. So it's important that brands look deeply, do a very critical analysis before they give brand ambassador deals to people. Okay, now let's look at it from this angle. If you were an entrepreneur with what Ronaldo has done, would you be comfortable with him being a brand ambassador, knowing he can switch at any time and just would you be comfortable with him being your brand ambassador? Let me ask this young man. He just smiled. What do you think?
Well, can Ronaldo switch at any time? Maybe. I feel Ronaldo can do a little bit of consistency if he's my brand ambassador, compared to someone like Jose Mourinho that could just look up one day and
Please leave that man out of it. I love that man, so I don't like what you're saying right now.
but if Ronaldo is ready to be my brand ambassador, let's assume I'm cook.
Do you hear what this guy just said? If Ronaldo is ready to, it's the confidence for me.
Yeah, you should be ready.
Exactly. So if
Who are you that Ronaldo will be ready to be your brand ambassador?
I'm cook. So if Ronaldo wants to promote the Coca-Cola image, if he's interested in being an ambassador for Coke, I'll surely take I'll surely take Ronaldo. Just like Messi, Pepsi took Messi. So I'll take Coca-Cola Ronaldo. That you do a good job in convincing people to tag along with my brand.
What about you? What do you think?
First of all, I want to ride on the part where you said looking into the future to know whether this person will cause trouble. I think another sensitive part that entrepreneurs should also understand is, in as much as we try to deny it, controversy sells.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that.
Controversy sells. I don't know if you guys are aware of Piers Morgan.
Yes, Piers Morgan,
one of the
British
most
presenter,
controversial personality in the world. But do you know that this guy single-handedly or wanted to single-handedly sponsor the abridged Super League, that the Big Six and the Big 12? He was like the major sponsor. Why do you think they would accept someone like Piers Morgan? The controversy. What does EPL thrive on? Controversies around VAR, controversies around the refereeing, controversies around price tags on English players. Controversy sells. So in as much as you are trying to be skeptical about, can this person cause me trouble, you should also have it in mind that this person's trouble can give me a certain edge. Look at Burna Boy, for example. There is no time
Giant of Africa.
Burna Boy won't trend on Twitter for one reason or the other. So if you are Coke, for example,
and when it trends, he drops a new song.
Definitely. So you know that you are sure to always be on the lips of social media
entities.
Yes, because your ambassador is somebody who is on the face of people.
So
whether you like it or not. I don't want to mention name, but our special assistant media to the president, there is a reason why he's saying the things he's saying, whether you like it or not. He's pushing an agenda for the presidency. But that's controversy, and
that's his job actually.
Yeah,
he's a professional image maker.
So some of us entrepreneurs should be aware that controversy also sells, in as much as you are trying to be skeptical about the brand ambassador you are approaching.
Okay, it's been a wonderful time in the studio. We've had conversations. It's been a long time. I've had two guests in the studio, and I can see the drama. So I think we're going to make this a consistent thing. Bring two guests in the studio, and then bring two opposing guests.
Yes.
The next time I'm going to bring a Man U and a Chelsea fan, and then they're just going to fight themselves. And I'll just be like, oh, "Come on, guys."
No, an Arsenal fan will be fine.
No. You see, the problem with Arsenal fans is that you guys are already so used to failure that you guys just
Their coach was a specialist in failure.
you guys will just sit down and just accept it. And like, okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Like that, Arsenal will be winning now.
Okay, so